Nature has some really quirky animals, but it's their freaky behaviors that really sets them apart. I mean, truly bizarre antics. Take this big guy, the hippopotamus, that lounges in rivers and lakes across sub-Saharan Africa. This critter has one of the freakiest quirks. You'd think a hippo's chill demeanor makes it harmless. But no, it's not even that these massive tanks have teeth that could snap a crocodile in half, or that they are among the deadliest animals in Africa, responsible for around 500 human deaths each year. Nope. The reason why the hippo is on the list is their freaky potty habits. When a hippo needs to mark its territory, it doesn't just leave a little scent like most animals. Oh no, it goes full sprinkler system, flinging poo and urine in all directions using its powerful tail as a fan. Watch those poor birds making a break for it. Why do they do this? To send a very clear message to rivals. This is my turf. Enter at your own risk. Would you mess with a creature that turns its bathroom break into a battlefield? The Marabou Stork isn't exactly winning any beauty contests. With its scraggly feathers, bald pink head, and a face only a mother could love, it's on the ugly side, to be honest. And its behavior doesn't make up for it. Marabou storks have a survival trick that's practical but disgusting. These birds defecate on their own legs. In the scorching heat of Africa's savannas, they use a process called urohydrosis, where they release watery waste down their legs to cool themselves off. The evaporating liquid helps regulate their body temperature, and the ammonia in the waste bleaches their legs white, giving them their signature bone-white stockings. Stylish? Maybe not. Effective? Absolutely. Who doesn't dream of tropical beaches with waves lapping gently onto white sand? It's paradise, right? Well, that's if you don't mind that sand has been pooped out by a fish. Yes, you heard me right. Pooped. Let me introduce you to the magnificent pooper, the parrotfish, nature's sand factory. Parrotfish spend their days munching on algae-covered coral reefs. But they're not just eating the algae. They grind up chunks of coral in their beak-like mouths, digest the edible parts, and excrete the rest as sand. One large parrotfish can produce up to 450 kilograms or about 1,000 pounds of sand in a single year, a conservative estimate for these hard-working fish. That's enough to keep those dreamy tropical beaches looking like the perfect escape. In fact, in places like Hawaii, where land-based sand sources are minimal, parrotfish poop is a major contributor to the soft white beaches we all adore. Sure, it's a bit gross, but also totally impressive. Adorable little critter, isn't it? And it has lots of quirks. Meet the short-beaked echidna, nature's art project gone wild. You'll find this spiky echidna in Australia and New Guinea, where this little oddball spends most of its time slurping up ants and termites with a long, sticky tongue that shoots out faster than you can blink. But that's just the start of its quirks. Unlike most mammals, echidna females lay a single leathery egg and tucks it into her pouch, where it hatches after about 10 days and pops out as a tiny, jelly bean-shaped hairless and spikeless baby called a puggle. Echidnas don't have nipples. Instead, milk seeps through specialized mammary gland openings, and the puggle laps it up. Every aspect of the echidna screams, "I'm weird," and it's impossible not to love it. We all know the dung beetle rolls dung into balls for food storage. But did you know this African bug has an impressive talent no other insect has? When the dung beetle rolls its ball of poop across the savanna, it doesn't just wander aimlessly. It looks up at the night sky and uses the Milky Way as a giant compass to move in a straight line. Scientists discovered this when they placed dung beetles under a simulated night sky. When the Milky Way was visible, the beetles rolled their dung with perfect precision. But when they couldn't see the stars, they got all turned around. Amazing to think there's an insect with a talent for celestial navigation. Their own GPS, powered by the galaxy. Salps are not your average sea critter. They are like ghostly, jelly-like chains drifting silently beneath the waves. These transparent tube-shaped creatures are technically related to us. Despite resembling jellyfish, salps are more closely related to vertebrates, like fish and humans, due to their chordate lineage. What makes them truly weird is how they live. Salps can form giant chains, living colonies that stretch for meters, sometimes longer than 15 meters or 50 feet. Each salp in the chain is an individual, but together they work like a team, pumping water through their bodies to propel themselves forward. And if that's not bizarre enough, these jelly-like creatures can clone themselves. In their asexual phase, salps reproduce by budding off identical copies, creating those massive chains in record time, increasing in length by 10 to 20% per hour under optimal conditions. Pyrosomes, which inhabit warm oceans worldwide, are like things out of a sci-fi movie. These strange creatures aren't individuals but colonies of tiny organisms called zooids. Each zooid is a clone, connected to the others, forming a hollow, tube-like structure that can grow up to 18 meters or 60 feet long, all made of tiny glowing clones. Pyrosomes are bioluminescent, lighting up the deep sea like underwater lanterns. The faint bluish-green glow they emit helps them avoid predators or attract plankton, their primary food source. But the weirdest thing about them is that each colony is self-sustaining. Each zooid pumps water through its body, filtering out food and pushing the water out of the colony, which propels the whole structure forward. At first glance, you might think this is a delicate underwater plant swaying with the currents, but it's not a plant at all. It's a feather star, one of nature's most fascinating marine animals. Feather stars, found in tropical and subtropical waters of the world, thrive in coral reef environments, but some can live at astonishing depths of up to 9,000 meters or 30,000 feet. These graceful creatures feed on tiny plankton, and while they may look delicate, they're surprisingly tough. If a predator grabs one of their arms, they can detach the limb to escape, leaving the predator confused. The most astonishing thing about them is their infinite warranty on body parts. If they lose an arm, they simply grow it back. Some species sport up to 200 arms, each covered in fine, hair-like structures that help them catch food. While many feather stars are content clinging to coral or rocks, others take swimming to a whole new level, propelling themselves through the water with their elegant feathery limbs. I know you're looking at this thinking it's a snake. It's not. Unlike snakes, it has eyelids, can blink, and even sheds its tail to escape predators. The legless lizard, found across Europe and parts of Western Asia, really likes predators to think it's a snake. It's like nature couldn't decide if it wanted to make a snake or a lizard and then just made something that looked like both. And now we have a creature that confuses everyone, including the predators chasing it, especially when its detached tail wiggles around as a distraction. Starling murmurations are one of the most incredible sights to see in nature. These mesmerizing displays can be seen in many parts of the world, including America, but particularly in Europe during autumn and winter. But why do they do it? Scientists believe murmurations are a survival strategy. By sticking together, starlings confuse predators like hawks and falcons, making it nearly impossible for them to target a single bird. And how do they pull it off without crashing into each other? Starlings have incredible spatial awareness. Each bird monitors the movement of up to 7 neighbors, adjusting its flight path in real time. The result? A perfectly synchronized aerial ballet that leaves us in awe. For more quirky critters, click the video on the screen now and join me on another Odd Earth Show adventure.